Scrolling is the new smoking. If you walk into a doctor's office 40 years ago, you would find that everybody in the waiting room would have a cigarette, or almost everybody. But that time has long passed. Instead, nowadays you walk into the waiting room of a doctor's office, everybody's on their phone. Most people are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, but no matter what, they are scrolling. Because that is our generation scrolling. We don't live in the time where people smoke cigarettes or cigars or nicotine. Really, it's scrolling. And right now is exactly the same time as it was 40 years ago when back then nobody really cared about smoking. Sure, there were a few studies here and there, but nobody was freaked out about smoking. Nowadays, even if you smoke outside, people might give you weird looks. I guarantee you that same exact thing is going to happen to scrolling. Give it 20, 30 years. By the time we're around like 50 years old, scrolling is going to be the thing seen as, oh yeah, you can do it, but everybody's going to look at you weird. There's going to be warning labels everywhere. Like, you're going to see advertisements against scrolling. We are not in that time yet. Instead, what I will tell you is twofold. First of all, there are literally studies showing that scrolling, especially even in the morning, literally reduces your brain mass, the gray matter in your brain. If that doesn't change your mind, I don't know what will. But second of all, I'll tell you my personal anecdote. So I started scrolling, and honestly, it was around like 10 years old. I was an iPad kid, but not entirely. Some kids are getting a phone at like 3 or 4 years old. I got an iPad at 10 years old. And from then on until around 15, 16 years old, I was scrolling and watching YouTube specifically for like minimum 6-7 hours a day. Minimum. And on the weekends, for example, it'd be upwards of 12, 13 hours. Essentially, all of my waking time was spent with my iPad. And that continued for 4, 5, 6 years until I started self-improvement. And that's when I learned about scrolling and productivity and everything, right? But I'll tell you, just as a personal example, the days where I scroll the most are also the days where I have the least enjoyment. Like, literally, I go to bed after let's say a bad day where I scroll a lot. I go to bed and I just feel sad or disappointed or empty. Meanwhile, on days where I have less than an hour of screen time and I'm genuinely out there, I'm working out, recording videos, having fun with friends, I feel like a G. I feel like a baller just going to bed. I feel amazing. But I only get that when I'm not scrolling and I'm living life. So you got to realize, right now, we're at the crossroads where people are starting to realize that scrolling is bad for you. But let's be real. You go out in public or you go in school or you go to work, most people still do it. Most people still scroll, ruin their attention span, ruin their dopamine. And honestly, they don't even have fun, right? You only do it while you're bored, but you're still bored while doing it. You have to understand that you got to be one of the few people who say no. Even if it feels kind of weird. I remember in freshman year of high school, some dude genuinely asked me, yo, what do you scroll on? As in, like, what platform? I said, I don't scroll. And he gave me a weird face. And I realized it's so common nowadays. It's so common. I dare you to go out for a walk in a semi-public area. You will never go without a minute of seeing somebody on a social media scrolling. I guarantee you, go out in even a semi-public area. It's crazy. And so the point of this video is for you to realize the same thing that happened with scrolling is what happened with cigarettes and smoking. Right now, it's people, everybody does it. Everybody just feels like it's a normal thing. I guarantee you in 20, 30 years, we're going to be looking at scrolling the same way we currently do to smoking. So don't be one of those people who continually scroll, even though you know the health effects. And honestly, I don't even care about the health effects. I really care about the personal anecdote of the people I've helped stop scrolling and get a routine. And personally, me, I'm telling you, the days where I go to bed proud of myself are not the same days where I scroll a lot. I'm just telling you how it is. And so I'll leave this video off with this. If you are part of that small percentage of people who doesn't scroll and who does want to have a productive routine, who wants to live a fulfilling life, specifically, you want to be able to go to bed knowing that you're proud of yourself, then this is the channel for you. You can go ahead and watch any of my other videos, or if you specifically want to get personal help from me, there's a link in the description to a Google form if you're interested.